Hi everyone, and welcome to Ms. Lala's classroom. Today we're going to be looking at different English form problems, and we're going to be translating them into mathematical form. So let's look at example number 1. We have 9% of a quantity. So 9% would be 9% of, in math, means multiplication. So we are going to put as a multiplication sign, we want to use a dot or we want to use parentheses. Because if we use the X, we're gonna mix it, or we might misunderstand it for a variable. So it's very important that once we start hitting pre-algebra and up, we start using the times with either the dot or with the parentheses. So 9% of a quantity. Since we don't know what this quantity is, you cannot give it a value. You cannot say 10, you can't say 5, you can't say 1, you can't say an amount because we don't know. So whenever we don't know what that value is, we always represent it with a variable. In this case, I'm using X, but you could use ABC. Doesn't really matter what variable you use. Now, 9%, right, can be translated into a fraction. So what is 9% out of 100? Well, 9 over 100, right? So we can say 9/100 of a quantity. And therefore, we can do the same thing with 900, THS, right, would be 900, this is a tens place, this is a hundreds place, 900 of a quantity. These are your 3 different mathematical forms that you can translate 9% of a quantity. Now let's look at example number 2. We have twice a number. What does twice mean? Well, twice means double, right? So twice would be twice a number, double a number. And again, number, we don't know. Do not put a value because we do not know. We need to use a variable to represent that. So we can say twice a number, or we can say twice a number, or simplified form, any number next to a variable means multiplication. Okay, any number next to a variable always means times. You don't see a plus, a minus, you don't see any symbol in between or division. It always means multiplication. So those are the 3 different ways that you can answer twice a number. Now let's look at 6 times an amount. Okay, to put it into mathematical form, again, we don't want to say 6 times an amount. See how weird that looks? 6xx, that's weird. So that's why we don't want to use x for times. We want to use 6 times an amount. Again, an amount, we don't know, right? It's an unknown number, an unknown value. So you always have to put a variable to represent it. All right, awesome. Your girl Lala saying, arriba la vida. Suscríbete. Bye.